Welcome to the Calm Mom Podcast, the show for ambitious women ready to get off the hot mess express. I know you've got a lot going on. You work so hard, you're raising an incredible family, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a certified master life coach, attorney, wife, and mom. And years ago, I was right where you are. I was running a busy law practice while raising a family, and I was on the fast track to burnout. I thought I just needed to be more organized or have better routines, but it was learning how to heal and regulate my nervous system that expanded my capacity to gracefully hold more of this big, beautiful life. You too are worthy of an extraordinary life in and beyond motherhood. Learning to be a calm, anchoring presence in your home and at work is going to be your superpower. If you're here to do the inner work that brings a sense of calm amidst the chaos, I'm here to join you on that journey. Each time you press play, your growth continues. So let's get at it. What's up, friends? It's Michelle Grosser here. You're listening to the Calm Mom Podcast. If you've been with us for a while, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. So good to have you here. Today, we're going to talk about some oddly specific signs that your nervous system needs support. Signs that your nervous system might be crying out for help. And I think we all know, or most of us know, a lot of the classic signs of stress, the racing thoughts and kind of feeling on edge and just not being able to truly relax. But I think sometimes our body sends us signals that are a little more offbeat, right? Maybe it's a clenched jaw, hormonal imbalances. Maybe it's that persistent brain fog. You're like, how many times am I going to walk into the pantry or open the fridge and not remember what I was there to grab, right? These are kind of subtle, sneaky ways I think that our nervous system is trying to say like, hey, red flag, pay attention, right? I need some TLC. So I'm grateful that you're here. We're going to talk about these symptoms, and I think it's good because our nervous system, our body is always communicating with us, right? It communicates with us in so many different ways. Muscle tension, our energy levels, digestive issues or lack thereof, right? How easily you fall asleep at night, whether you can stay asleep through the night. Our body's always communicating with us. The real question is, are we listening, right? Are we listening? Are we slowing down enough to pay attention and grow an awareness of our somatic cues? Or are we ignoring them? Or are we going too fast to notice? Or are we, silencing them with Band-Aid fixes like popping an Advil or, what have you? Okay, so I think this is going to be really helpful. Before we jump in, I would love to ask those of you who have not yet left the show a 5-star rating or a short review, would you do so today? It's super easy, super quick. You just go down to the show. Scroll down where it says leave a review, put 5-star rating, write a couple sentences about something that's resonated with you or that you've learned, or if you just love the show in general, you can just say that. And really why I make this request every episode is because it helps get the show out in front of other people just like you, right? People who are looking for holistic solutions for anxiety, overwhelm, and burnout, people who are done feeling irritable and edgy and just kind of living in that fog, right? We all deserve to feel better. And when you leave the show a 5-star rating and a short review, the algorithm helps to spread it for other women to also participate, join our community, and learn these tools also. So thank you. If you do so today, I'm just so grateful for you. Okay, let's jump in. Before we kind of talk about the 5 signs, I want to quickly chat about what I mean by somatic cues, right? I kind of threw that term out there. Your body, my body, all of us, our bodies are walking, talking, well, I guess not talking, but indicators of how safe or how threatened we feel in our environment, right? We spend so much time in our heads, you guys. If you're anything like me, like you just live in your head. Maybe you're the rigid personality type. Maybe you would describe yourself as type A. Maybe you love like coming up with a plan and writing down all the tasks and have your planner as like your emotional support planner, right? We spend so much time in our heads, but what happens is that so many of us, and this was definitely me, we're so disconnected from our body. And then we miss those kind of red flags that our body is waving until they become full-blown issues, right? Chronic pain, severe anxiety, burnout, what have you. So somatic cues are really just all of those physical sensations, unconscious habits, repeated like physical patterns, like maybe something like clenching your jaw or a tightness in your shoulders. All of these things reflect what's going on the inside, right? In your internal world. And why should we care? Why does it matter? It matters because addressing your nervous system health, you guys, before it escalates is always easier, right? I think this is true for anything health related. Addressing the symptoms when they start to show up, especially with our nervous system health before they escalate, is just easier than dealing with like full blown burnout or hormone crash or what have you. So my hope today is that you'll spot one or maybe more of these quote unquote oddly specific signs in yourself and then go like, oh, that's just my body actually trying to tell me something, right? It's not that I'm broken. It's not that I'm defective. It's not that I'm sick. It's not that my body is just communicating with me. And then you can kind of take these small, manageable steps to really help your system feel safer and more supported. All right, so let's go through these 5 oddly specific signs. Sign number 1. Sign number 1 that your nervous system needs support is that your jaw is always clenched. Maybe even right now, your jaw is clenched. Maybe your tongue is pressed to the roof of your mouth. And like, as you kind of like open your mouth right now, as you're listening to this, you're like, oh my gosh, there's a ton of tension there. Like I can feel it, right? Let's start with one of the most common signs because I think so many of us experience this. So if you paused for a second and you realize that your teeth are like locked together, you're not alone, right? And this happens because a clenched jaw or a tight jaw can indicate there's a low-grade fight or flight activation in our sympathetic nervous system. So when your body perceives any sort of stress, threat, danger, right? Whether it's just like, I don't know, a tense work environment or like daily stress of life, our muscles tense up, right? And they prepare us to be safe. They prepare us to run. They prepare us to fight. And often that tension shows up in our jaw, our neck, our shoulders, and that leads to other issues, right? Or it can lead to other issues, headaches, TMJ, dizziness. Our jaw, you guys, is part of our survival system's protective stance. Like even think about animals in the wild when they're like feeling threatened, what do? They bare their teeth, right? It's like this ancient response. But in the modern world, it's more about repressed stress, anger you haven't acknowledged maybe than like an actual threat to our physical survival, right? So here's the small step for this sign. If you are someone who just did a jaw check and you're like, oh yeah, my jaw is clenched and it's often clenched and I wake up with it clenched. Do a jaw check. It sounds silly, but like do a jaw check, man. Set a quick reminder on your phone or on your watch. Like maybe it just vibrates every few hours or you do it with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Check in on your jaw. Open your mouth, right? Wiggle your jaw side to side. Massage the muscles that are near your ears, near that jaw joint. Stick your tongue out, right? All the silly things, but it's so important. Even just exhaling, you guys, with like an audible sigh. Like, all right, do it with me now. Everyone inhale through your nose. And then on the exhale, make a sound when you exhale. Just that can release some of the tension in your jaw. And it might feel silly at first, but it works. Okay. All right. Sign number 2 that your nervous system needs support. You, my friend, have high cortisol and maybe low progesterone. Okay. Our hormones get whack when our nervous system is dysregulated. So if you have a hormonal indicator that might show up, maybe it's on lab tests, or maybe you just suspect, like you're noticing anxiety, mood swings, like weird changes in your cycle. High cortisol and low progesterone are classic signs of chronic stress, especially in us high achieving women who are often doing all the things, burning the candle at both ends. Okay. And this happens. I mean, we talk a lot about cortisol here on the podcast. Cortisol is your main stress hormone, right? So when you're perpetually running to-do list, kids, job demands, zero downtime, your body is in this kind of survival mode and it is just cranking out cortisol. And that in those large amounts, the chronic release of cortisol has a huge impact on your hormones. And then on the flip side, progesterone, right, which is a hormone that helps us with our mood, fertility. Guys, progesterone also helps with our sleep quality. Progesterone often tanks when our body's too busy fighting stress, right? So our system is like, we don't have time for reproduction right now, right? We don't have time for chilling out right now. We don't have time for sleep right now. We are under attack. And that's the signal that our system is getting, right? That we're stuck in this fight or flight, signaling our adrenals to pump out cortisol. And then over time, that can throw off our hormonal balance, and it can lead to irregularities in our cycle, insomnia, and even fertility issues. So here's just like lifestyle tweaks, right? You guys, can you add 5 minutes of a parasympathetic activating practice to your day, right? Something that activates your rest and digest state of your nervous system. Pilates, stretching, deep like diaphragmatic breathing, right? Guided meditation. Go for a stinking walk outside. Like, it's so simple, but makes such a big difference. So the other thing you can do is you can start tracking your cycle. I think if you notice that your stress gets worse in your luteal phase, like that week or so before your period, really incorporating, like really being intentional about incorporating extra gentle practices during that time every month, right? And I think the key is really starting to catch your stress response before your body gets the signal to like spike your cortisol and then kind of throw everything into a wreck, okay? All right, that's number 2. Number 3, the third oddly specific sign that your nervous system needs support is that you have a hard time winding down before bed, right? We're supposed to have energy in the morning, and then as the day progresses, after dinner, as evening, bedtime approaches, we're supposed to start feeling tired. So if you're running like opposite of that schedule, like maybe you find yourself yawning all day long, like it's noon and you're exhausted, or it's 2 p.m. and you're beat, but then, 8, 9, 10, 11 p.m., you're wired. That's a biggie, right? You're having trouble kind of shifting from that go, go, go mode to the restful state when it's actually time for your body to wind down and sleep. And when we get that second wind, right? Maybe it's like, oh my gosh, now I have all this energy. I'm going to like deep clean the house, or I'm going to respond to emails at 10 p.m. or I'm going to like sit and whatever, doom scroll or watch a show or whatever. Like we just have too much energy. We feel like we're too amped late at night to lie down and kind of switch it off. That just means that your sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight circuit, is still activated, right? It's still kind of going. It hasn't transitioned to a parasympathetic rest and digest mode. And it's related to our nervous system because what's happening is that your brain thinks it's not safe to fully relax, right? Maybe you've been going nonstop all day. So your body's like, all right, let's stay on alert. Or maybe you're used to like, and this is a big one, I think, for moms especially, and I can relate to this one because it happens to me. Like sometimes I get used to, or at least subconsciously, I'm used to nighttime being the only time I get quiet. And then like the thoughts kind of flood in, and that triggers a stress response that I was suppressing earlier by just being in busy mode. So maybe that lands for you. But here's what I would recommend. Start with tech. It's like a super easy boundary to set. Like have a tech cutoff time before bed, right? Maybe like it's tech cutoff an hour before you go. It's really hard to say tech cutoff. Tech cutoff time, an hour before you go to bed, 30 minutes before you go to bed, what have you. But I think that'll reduce kind of that dopamine hit and that blue light that can help keep you wired when you don't want to be wired at night, right? And then the same thing with your bedtime routine. Like I've started doing something. I was talking to my husband about it. I'm calling it turn down service. Like, when you go to a nice hotel and like you're gone all day sightseeing, what have you, and you get home and like after dinner, and it's like you can tell the turn down service has come. Like there's super soft music playing in the hotel room. They put something on your pillow. Like they've dimmed the lights. Like it's awesome. And it immediately signals to our nervous system like, oh, this is like time to relax and prepare for a deep sleep, right? You can do that at your house. Like you don't have to just go be at the Ritz-Carlton to do that. You can do that at your house and start that like turn down service for yourself. I change the lights, right? Like dim everything. I'll like sit and do some gentle stretching. I'll turn off the TV and whatever else is going and like just put on instrumental music or like soft calming music. And what I'm doing when I do that is I'm training my body to recognize like, oh, this is the time where we wind down every day. And that's made a big difference for me. It's allowed me to fall asleep more quickly and then actually get like restful, restorative sleep. So I wake up feeling rested and energized. So I'd give that a shot too. All right, number 4. The fourth oddly specific sign your nervous system needs support is you guys are dealing with gut issues. So many women brush it off as like, oh, I just have a sensitive stomach. But if you have chronic gut issues, bloating, IBS-like symptoms, digestive discomfort, all of those things can scream nervous system dysregulation, and they often do, right? It's why we can't eat if we're stressed out, or why we have a pit in our stomach when we like know we need to have a difficult conversation or something upsets us or what have you, right? Your gut and your brain are so closely linked via your gut-brain axis, you guys. When you are stressed or anxious, your body will immediately deprioritize digestion, right? If I have to run from a lion or tiger or bear, I don't care about digesting my last meal. Through evolution, our body still does the same thing, right? If you're like, to your body, stress is stress. Your body cannot differentiate, oh my gosh, there's a lion about to eat me, or oh my gosh, I have a big, project to present at work tomorrow. Stress is stress to your body. So when you perceive stress or anxiety, your body shuts down or at least slows down your non-essential systems to prioritize safety and survival, right? Prioritize fight or flight. When you're stressed, when you're anxious, your body deprioritizes digestion. Blood flow gets redirected away from your intestines and it gets redirected to your extremities, right? So you can mobilize, you can run, or you can bite. Stress hormones alter our gut motility also. And when we're in chronic fight or flight, like if you're like, yeah, I'm stressed more days than not, that also leads to higher inflammation. And what does inflammation do? It messes with our gut microbiome, right? All of the gut flora that make our digestion efficient get messed with. So if we're constantly in that kind of activated go, 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 fight or flight state, our gut just can't do its job optimally. And it shows up as these gut issues that so many of us have experienced. Okay, so getting into the practice of having nervous system balancing exercises, slowing down, right? Even if it's just like a meal a day this week, guys, sit down. Take a few breaths before you eat, right? Put your phone away and chew your food slowly. Taste it, right? Mindful eating, letting your body know like, hey, I'm consuming food. I'm nourishing my body. I'm nourishing you, body. It's safe. We have time to digest, okay? And then if it's tolerated, you guys can, supplement your diet with like really gut-friendly, gut-supporting foods, right? Fermented foods, yogurt, kimchi, what have you. I take happy juice every day. I'm huge on happy juice. It's made such a difference for my gut health. So I can also link that in the show notes for you guys. But the real magic is relaxing your nervous system during meals so that your digestion can properly operate in that parasympathetic zone. All right. And then number 5. The last one I want to talk about today, the last oddly specific sign your nervous system needs support is you kind of are walking more often than not in this kind of like brain fog memory loss zone, right? Those like moments of like, why did I walk into this room again? Or like your kids having to be like, Mom, are you paying attention? And then having to say something again because you're just kind of not there. We all forget small things occasionally, I think. But if you find that it's happening more often, like you're just in this haze, that might be your big red flag that your nervous system is overloaded. Because when your nervous system is preoccupied with safety and survival, right? Your memory, all that awesome clarity that we can feel sometimes, that all takes a back seat. So constantly high cortisol, again, right? We're there. That impairs your hippocampus, which is your brain's memory center. So what happens is that your day-to-day tasks kind of get fuzzy, or it's things like, man, I met that person and I remember meeting them and I remember asking their name twice and I can't recall their name, right? Or like we're forgetting appointments, or like we tend to put something on our calendar, but then we forget to do it and we don't show up and we skip it, and or whatever it is, right? That word that's on like the tip of our tongue and we can't remember it. And the more that you guys we dwell in chronic states of stress, the less mental faculties and resources we just have for those things like focus and recall, right? It's like our brain's CPU is like maxed out, right? Our brain's computer is like maxed out by background processes, and it leaves us, minimal bandwidth for short-term memory. So what can you do? I think taking breaks throughout the day for your brain is super helpful here, right? Maybe it's like you work for 50-minute blocks and then you take a 5 to 10-minute break and just like not pick up your phone, but go make yourself a cup of tea, go fill your water bottle, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, right? Let your mind wander, do a quick breath work or meditation or body scan, stare out the window. All of these things reset your mental load. And then we want to make sure that we're supporting our body with the right nutrients that it needs, right, for brain function. So making sure we're hydrating, that's a huge one. Slight dehydration, you guys, has such a significant impact on brain function. You'll notice it so quickly. So if you just up your hydration, make sure you're getting enough water and that your body's actually absorbing it, that'll make a big difference. And then just supplementing with other, vitamins that really support our brain health, B vitamins, omega-3s, all of those can support brain function. But ultimately, you guys, it's addressing the stress, right? The stress that's like impairing our brain function to begin with. So clearing that mental fog is just going to take some lifestyle shifts to reduce stress overall and get better coping mechanisms for stress. All right, there you have it, you guys. It's 5 oddly specific signs that your nervous system is waving a red flag. It's a clenched jaw, high cortisol or low progesterone, both, right? Trouble winding down at night, gut issues, and brain fog or memory loss. Now, if 1, 2, 3, all 5 of these resonated with you, I want that to be good news. Don't let that, make you feel bad or panicked or disappointed or discouraged or what have you. This is good news because as you learn how to regulate your nervous system, these things are going to heal. You do not have to live with these symptoms. I promise you. I experienced every single one of these when I was in a deep state of burnout, every freaking one. And it was so discouraging. And then when I realized that I had a dysregulated nervous system and worked with a coach and a functional medicine practitioner to help regulate my nervous system, and all of these things started to heal and kind of fade and I didn't notice them anymore. Holy moly, was that like, it just gave me so much hope, right? And then it like fired me up to now teach these things. So if you're dealing with a few of these symptoms or all of these symptoms, and you're ready to heal and you want guidance and support, we're in our cohort, our winter cohort now of Burnout Recovery Blueprint, but it's going to launch again in the spring. So maybe put that on your to-do list, right? Maybe set aside the funds and manage your finances so that you're able to participate and join the next cohort in the spring. Or if you're wanting one-on-one support and you're like, man, I want Michelle's like one-on-one guidance. I want to be one of her one-on-one clients where we meet every other week and we really work through like specifically what my symptoms are and what my day-to-day life is like and what my nervous system has been through in my life experience and what I need to heal and feel better so I can show up as, the woman and the wife and the mom and the businesswoman and the community person and all of these things that you want to do and just feel really good in your body. I've also put the one-on-one coaching application in the show notes. Okay. So you guys can fill that out. It's super quick. I'll take a look at it when it comes through. If it seems like I can help you and we'd be a good fit, I'll shoot you an email. We can jump on a quick Zoom and talk about what that might look like and next steps if it feels aligned for you. But I just want you to remember that you definitely don't have to go about this healing journey on your own. There are resources for you, right? Anyone who's operating at a high level has help, right? They're a part of masterminds. They have their own coach. They learn from people who've been through it, right? And are on the other side. And that opportunity is available for all of you here. So if you haven't yet, go ahead and grab my nervous system reset guide. That's absolutely free. That's in the show notes. And that's full of like information, I think, that will help you get started, and a few somatic tools that you can kind of play around with to help you shift from fight or flight into this calmer, more resilient baseline. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in today, you guys. Again, if this episode resonated, if you've learned anything on the Calm Mom podcast that has helped you or made an impact, please go ahead and leave the show a 5-star rating or a short review. Maybe even share this episode, right, with someone who you've heard complaining about, a clenched jaw or gut issues lately, or can't seem to sleep or relax at night. Maybe this will help them. And we might just save them from a world of stress. But until next time, you guys, stay curious, stay gentle with yourselves, and remember, your body is so wise. Pay attention to it. All right. I love y'all so much. I'll talk to you soon.
If you love Mommy's Podcast, leave a review.
If you enjoyed this episode, it would be so awesome if you could take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast. And if you have just a few more seconds to leave a quick review, they really help to get this podcast out to other moms like you. I read every last review, and trust me, when it's late at night or early in the morning before my kids get up and I'm working on bringing you all of this content, your reviews are what keep me going. Leaving a review is truly the best way you can thank me. And of course, DM me on Instagram. I love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to another episode. Head over to the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at michellegrosser.com, where you'll find free resources and more ways to connect with me. If you love the show, share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.